I definitely didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. But, Geffen believed that lightning will strike twice. And it's a very solid song. Funnily enough, the background of it, Sounds magazine in England had asked Bernie Marsden, as a young, blues player, white blues player, to interview B.B. King, which, was a super interview. He played B.B. some of our stuff, and just B.B. was such a doll. And he said, why don't you guys write something for me? Because he'd heard our version of Bobby Bland's. Bobby Bland and he were big friends. He'd heard Endlo Love in the Heart of the City, which Bobby loved, apparently. And we got a special thanks on his best of. It's huge. That's like the Oscar. Bernie was away in Kenya, I think, on a camera safari. And so we're working on this idea. B.B. at this time was working with a jazz funk group called the Crusaders. So, of course, ours is significantly beefier, but if you listen to it with the idea of a funky bass player and not so heavy guitars and stuff like that, and Fool for Your Loving No More, bring the signature B.B. King guitar lick. And then Bernie comes back, and Mickey and I played him this idea, and he came up and put his input in there. And Martin and I were listening to the playback of this demo for B.B., and both Martin and I looked at each other and said, I think we should hang on to this, which we did. Apologies to B.B., God rest his soul. And it became literally our first global hit. We'd been touring Japan and came back to do some Levi's concerts at the Rainbow Theatre, and we had a top 20, if not top 10 single. So it was amazing, and it's another incredible crowd pleaser. But I thought our version was fine. It wasn't necessary to revisit, but Geffen were adamant, that they wanted to do this. There was a lot of the old Whitesnake fans were disappointed with it because it was kind of an over-decorated version. It lost some of the essence of the original. However, on this new version, we've toughened up the guitars. We've added Derek Sherinian on scorching organ. Sounds terrible. It's a brand new version. We dug out Glenn Hughes' background vocal, and that's in from the original Slip of the Tongue sessions. But it's a definitely beefier, and I feel much more confident. There's a great solo from Steve Vai, and we've highlighted that. But with surrounded by, more powerful rhythm section, and it's one of my favorite. It's on the greatest hits. It has to be one of my favorites.
You have an interesting story too about it being the first video from Slip as well. Can you share that?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I designed a set for Judgment Day. I thought Judgment Day should have, and I still do, and everybody who involved with the band still feels that should have been the first one out of the box, as they say. And Geffen, for some unspeakable reason, to a man, said that Fool for Your Love. It was just weird. I should have fought for it more, because I really disagreed with the decision. Calling each member of the band to tell them, each to a man, they were crestfallen, very disappointed. And I should have, I was selling so many records, I should have recognized that I had more clout to say, no fucking way, we're going with Judgment Day. And I think it could have been an entirely different story. But there you go.